What's going on, everyone? Today is a very special broadcast. We will be going through the entire process of Dockerization, doing some DevOps work. You know, I'm not much of a DevOps guy, but special broadcast. But today it's DevOps Day, so I found a willing participant, aka victim from the community, Aaron. Aaron, what's going on?
Good, good. How you doing?
I'm doing all
I'm
right.
excited to get started.
This is good. So I understand you have a program that you've written that works. However, it's tough to get that onto another machine. Got no Docker file, got no Docker Compose, got no Kubernetes.
Yep, that's what I'm here for.
Well, don't worry, buddy. We
Hoping you
will
can do that.
we will get this figured out today. No more messing around, no more playing around. It will be done. So if anyone was following last stream, I think on Thursday, we took a look at this Tool Hub program. So Aaron, you're watching my the stream through Discord, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm
you're
watching.
watching live. Perfect. So give us a little short background on it for anyone that wasn't here on Thursday.
Okay, so it's what the application does. It allows users to. It's supposed to be for users to like create groups, like let's say in their neighborhood, and they can post tool requests as like for managing like loaning tools, as well as like in your community, as well as like you can say, oh, I have these tools available to loan, or I wanted to request them. We implemented also like a group chat feature as well as like direct messages, so you could message people. And the problem is right now that it's not Dockerized, so it's a problem for people to actually run this project.
That makes sense. So I see it's called Tool Hub. Is this anything like that other hub that everybody seems to be interested in that people can log
Okay,
on to all
GitHub
the
you're
time?
talking about?
Yeah, GitHub.
GitHub?
That hub that all the young men are always on all the time. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other hubs other than Tool Hub and GitHub. I have never heard of another website that has a
Yeah,
hub.
I don't know like if you're considering anything else like that. I can't think of anything. Not
Yeah, me
sure.
neither. All right, Jordy LaForge says containerize D's nuts. Well, I mean, containerize everything. D's nuts, I suppose, would be included. And then Aiden says no Docker, no B star. No Docker, no bullshit. Maybe I don't know. So, are you ready to get going?
I am ready.
All right. So we have Tool Hub here. Is there any? Didn't you say you started this on another branch?
I started, yeah, if you look at the Dockerify branch, I think I was able to get the back end running. I mean, I was on like a one Docker file. The front end was always having issues. Like I don't really know what's going on. Really, it's mainly ChatGPT and trying to figure it out. But the front end I couldn't get working, and I spent like hours trying to get ChatGPT to help me out with it.
So
Uh,
I got
didn't work out.
OpenJDK, workdir app from build from equals build app target app snapshot.jar dot slash app.jar expose 8080 cmd java dash jar app.jar. Okay.
So if you run that, it should run the back end. I think at least on my machine it works. So
Let's see.
it works on my machine. It works.
Docker run dot docker build dot minus t tool hub
Back
backend.
end.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. Okay. So we're getting stuff going. That's good. If I was smart, I would have Docker pulled all these things earlier, so we didn't have to wait for it to happen here. But I'm not that smart. And this is something I like to impress upon my viewers. You don't have to be that smart to be a software engineer. You really just have to have an iron will and never stop until your stuff works. Thoughts on that observation, Aaron?
Yeah, I second that.
Good. Good.
I think yeah, you're very observant.
Because I deal with some absolute idiots all the time. However, perfectly good software engineers, just idiots. And if you're out there listening, I'm not talking about you. It's somebody else. I don't know why it's downloading so slow. It's downloading from docker.io. It should be way faster of a download.
It took me like it takes about like 1 to 2 minutes for
Yeah.
it to run on my machine as well.
Now I have to. I'm getting internet like. I don't want people to judge me for my internet speeds. Let's see what I'm getting. I'm on a wireless network right now, but oh, I'm only getting 90 megs. This is pitiful. Maybe I should be internet shamed. Dang. This is painful. Good thing I have my restreaming set up on a wired in connection. I'm going to have to fix that. But for now, it seems to be working-ish. Is
All
it?
right, and I added you as a collaborator. Was that what I was supposed to do? All right,
Yes.
and GitHub.
Yeah, that's perfect. So we'll be able to set up building and putting
Do
the
I need
package
like
to the
permission,
packages.
like an admin permission or something, or it should work? Like, I'm not sure how to do the admin. Trying to
If
find
you give me an
settings.
admin permission, it'll make it easier for me to set up the GitHub Actions. Because what we'll do is we'll have it so GitHub Actions will build your two Docker files into Docker images and then store them in the GitHub Docker image registry. And then what that will mean
Oh,
is you
okay.
can just log into a system, and the only thing the system needs to have on it is a Docker-compose file, and then we'll build one of those bad boys up. And once you have the Docker Compose file, you'll be able to once you have the Docker Compose file, somebody will just be able to run that image, and then it'll download those images that we've built, and then it'll work just perfectly.
All right. So how do I do the admin? Let's see. Is it under collaborators
I think so.
or
I think I have to accept the collaboration,
oh, you first have to accept?
accept
Okay.
invocation, and then you can set me as a like a co-owner or an admin or something along those lines. So one of the most annoying things about being a streamer is if you're following a bunch of other streamers, what will happen is you will get notifications throughout your stream from Twitch saying that other people are online, and it's like, what do you want me to do, Twitch? I started 7 minutes ago. Do you want me to raid them? Is that what you want me to do? Do you want me to just
Yeah,
stop streaming and go watch their stream? Do you want me to watch their
yeah,
stream while
Twitch
I'm
has
trying to
to
stream?
fire their. They have to fire their UX
Yeah.
people.
And I know that they know when I'm streaming because I get a notification immediately every time I start streaming saying, hey, man, you want to manage your stream from your phone? And it's like, first of all, I'm a professional. I'm not going to be managing my stream from my phone. I have a second monitor for that. But, like, what are you doing, Twitch?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to find the options for admin. I just see like under collaborators, it just shows you like I can select you, and it would just give the option to remove you.
I
I don't
believe under
see where to change
settings
permissions.
should be to the right of all the options at the top of the thing.
Collaborators.
Yeah, settings,
On
collaborators, I think.
Yeah, I see you. If I click on your username, it goes to your account. If I click on the checkbox, it gives the option to remove access to all the selected people.
Hmm.
So, I don't know.
Strange. Let me check on one of my repositories. We'll just go to a Pape Changer, my personal favorite. So it should be under settings, collaborators. Oh, and then you gotta do the thing. It's always annoying. GitHub 1.4 approve. Oh, well, this repository has no collaborators. What's a repository I have with collaborators? Do I have collaborators? I don't think I officially have
You
any
do everything
collaborators.
yourself?
I mean, kind of, except for, hold on a second. I mean, I don't. I just don't give anyone credit. No, let me find one. One of
Oh,
these.
I see. Yeah, that's the way to go.
FocusBot. FocusBot has one collaborator. So we'll see where the setting is for that. Collaborators. So I think if you select the person and then, nope, remove access. Oh, interesting. I thought there was, let's see, give repo admin access GitHub. Settings in the drop down menu, access, collaboration team, manage access, changing perms, settings, collaboration teams. Oh, there should be under manage access next to the team or person whose role you'd like to change. Select role drop down menu and click a new role. Huh. I guess that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
Well, that's fun. Well, I'll be able to get. I'll be able to walk you through it.
Okay.
Let's get back into this. So we will run Docker run minus IT tool hub backend, and it looks like it's starting. So as
Yep.
far as I can tell, it
Should
appears
work.
that you've gotten that part set up perfectly. No problem.
Yeah, it looks good. The output should be that.
Cool. So we'll worry about ports and other things later. So let's check out the
Okay.
front end.
So there's a Docker file, but it doesn't work. The build crashes at step 5, and I try like a lot of different things. It might be something simple, but I couldn't figure it out. I don't really know what's going on.
Okay. So you're starting with a Node 18 Alpine. Work to your app package.json. You copy that bad boy over. Run npm install. Copy that bad boy over. npm run build expose 80. So let's first just make sure I can build it here. So I'll do npm I and see what we can get going. And then npm run dev. Is that a thing? Yeah, there you go. So that works.
Preview is the npm run. Preview is the command in the Docker file, which should work as well.
Okay. Oh, you got is this AI generated? That's fun.
Oh yeah, the backend's AI generating.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Okay. So that looks like that's set up properly. So then if I do npm build, npm run build.
Run build and then try preview after.
Was this dash dash preview?
Uh,
Just preview?
I believe so. I
Yeah.
think preview might be preview.
So npm run
Let
build
me
works.
see.
All right. So then let's open up the Docker file. So then you run npm install. Work to your /app. Copy package.json dot. Run npm install. npm run build. Okay. So let's Docker build. Oh, dot. Let's see what we get. Yet again,
Yeah, I think it was
pre-downloaded
step
this.
5 or 6 where I believe it's step like 5 or 6 where it crashes by me.
Mm-hmm. Cannot start service. Host version 0.19.11 does not match binary version 0.19.12. Huh. Interesting.
I believe I get different error as well. I'm trying to run it right now on my end, it's taking time, but I think it might be a separate error.
Okay. Let's paste my error in and see what's going on. Oh, well, that doesn't help. Let's see. Host version does not match binary version. Removing node underscore modules and running npm install helped. Removing node modules and solved it indeed. That could be what it is.
Oh, I just have to delete node modules.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Docker build dot. No, that didn't work. Well, it's different now.
Oh yeah, this is the error I got. The copy, run, npm run build or stuff like that. Those are
Okay.
errors I've seen. Like I've seen a couple of different errors over the time trying to edit it, ChatGPT.
Could not
But
resolve
again,
dot slash pages slash find group page from source app JSX. File app source app JSX had error. Parse AST 33730 at module loader at file. Interesting. So the first thing is, why not just do this? Just install and npm run build. That might just be all we need. So we just copy everything in and see what happens.
oh, okay. I see. So
Nah, it didn't like that.
what would be?
Added and audited.
It's replacing with the node module with the one that I have on the host machine.
Sorry?
After it runs, there's the Docker machine and then the computer it's copied from, right? So what happens is if first you run npm install first and then you copy everything, the node module is going to be overwritten with the old version. Is that what's happening?
That could be it.
The previous one?
Let's see. Let's do node latest. That's probably an image tag. Could just be that the version of node you're running is too new, and the Docker one is older. Could be the other way around. But let's see if it works on latest. All sorts of weird little things that can come up. Huh. That is strange. New minor version of npm available. Who cares? Run npm install -g npm app 10.4.0 to update. Nah, who cares? Front end, Vite build, Vite 5.0.12 building for production, transforming 16 modules transform. Could not resolve that. Roll pair could not resolve. That's very strange. So the next thing to do is figure out what's different between this environment and the environment running in good old Docker. So let's just, let's see. Docker run -it node :latest. So this is going to run a Docker image when interactive terminal mode. I don't know exactly what IT means. Against node latest. And then we're going to do a -v, and then so that will mount a volume, and that volume will be, let's see, let's do pwd : /app. So what that does is it will mount a volume of our current working directory into the application, the app directory. Let me make sure I got that syntax right.
Into the Docker app directory?
Into the Docker app directory, yes.
Okay.
So let's see. I think there's, I'm not sure I got the volume thing right. -- mount Source equals volume name target equals. No, there's got to be another way to. There's another way to do this that's easier. There's a minus v, I swear. Volume. Oh no, this is. Yeah, here we go. Host path, container path. So that is going to be correct. I did that wrong. Why is it mad at me? Unknown flag, IT in minus IT. I think I put run in the wrong place. Docker run minus v that. There we go. So now we're inside the Docker. Oh no. The node image doesn't have enough stuff in it. Let's check Docker Hub. So we got node. Node version dash Alpine. So we'll do latest dash Alpine. Docker pull node colon latest dash Alpine. It's not a version. Oh, this is always the most annoying thing, trying to figure out which one we want. Probably 21 Alpine 3.18. 21 dash Alpine 3.18. Okay, so we got that. And we could have done on Debian Bookworm or whatever. So then we'll do node 21 minus Alpine 3.18. Oh, I see. It puts us directly into a node console. So what we're going to do is minus C, I believe, for command. No, we just need to say the command we want to run. So slash bin slash sh. What that does, that puts us into a shell, which will allow us to poke around, right?
That makes sense.
So we'll cd into app, and then we'll do npm I, and then we'll do npm run build. And that seems to work just fine.
It works, yeah. What about preview? No, npm run preview. Although the build was where I was getting the error in the Docker.
Run preview seems to be fine. This isn't going to work exactly here. We could make it work, but it's going to be a hassle. But yeah, it seems to be running just fine. So something is going weird with, for some reason it's not, well, the easy solution here is to open up this Docker file and change it from node latest to node 21 dash Alpine 3.18. There we go. And see if it works. Docker build dot. So that's one of the nice things about trying to do Docker builds is you can get inside of the thing and run it.
Okay.
Huh. That's strange that
Still
it
not
isn't working. ls minus lah. Is it possible that it's reading one of these dot files? That doesn't make much sense.
And what would that be doing?
I don't know. I don't know why it's not working inside of there. That is very strange. Let's see. Could not resolve from source/app.jsx. Is it possible, hear me out,
Yes,
that
I'm
this
listening.
work dir isn't working properly? And just getting rid of it will fix it.
Work there.
Nope, that was not it. What if it has something to do with npm I? Because that's the only other difference from how I was running it. No, that had nothing to do with it. That is really weird. Why are we getting
So
different?
what you're saying, is it possible it's not copying some of the dot files
I
that it's
was thinking
supposed to
that, but
copy?
I don't think that's actually the issue. So here's what we can do.
Yes, I'm listening.
We can just there we go. We can just get rid of all of these. Probably better to split the npm install and npm build steps so they're cached separately. That's a good call, says Jordy from the chat. So what we'll do is we're just gonna copy everything in there, and we'll see if it runs from inside an interactive run of the container. And Jordy says it's the npm build that's failing. Yes. Yeah, he's right. So what it is Docker. It makes a cache from every one of these steps. So the first one obviously doesn't have to cache because it already has that image, and then it makes a cache each time you run a step. So if you do the install in its own step and then the build in a later step, then it caches everything up until the step that fails. So it runs super fast because all it has to do is unpack that. So what
Oh,
I'm going to
okay.
do is I'm going to just copy it in there and then give a tag, docker build dot -t test. And what's this going to happen is it's going to copy it in there right before we start having issues. And then I can docker run -it test /bin/sh. So this is shelling into the container that we just built that is like halfway built. And then we can run the next
So
step from there.
it's in between the build and the install.
It's in between it's right before the install. I want to make sure the install
Oh, it's
works.
before the install. Okay.
Let's run npm run build. There we go. Okay, so now we found the error and we're in an interactive session. So we can see kind of what's going on. So let's run ls -lah. It actually did get the dot file, so that was totally wrong on my end.
Okay.
Huh. Why isn't it working? This is strange. npm run build. 12 modules could not resolve /pages/find group page.
Let's say an import in the. Is that an import? That might be an import from the app.jsx file.
Yeah.
Yep. So why would that not be copied over? Does it make, or is the path different? Maybe like the relative paths get screwed up. Something with Docker.
It shouldn't. cd pages cd find _group cat find group page.jsx. It looks like it has it. Const find group page. That is interesting. So the relative path came through properly, I think. I didn't want to scroll up, so I just ran it again. Could not resolve. File source app.jsx. Error during build. Rollup error. Could not resolve. This is very curious. Huh. Anyone in the comments got any ideas on what could possibly be causing this? I was honestly hoping to come in here and see a very simple error in the Docker file, fix it instantly, and then get on to orchestrating these containers.
Yeah, now I'm feeling a little better about myself that I spent like 2 hours and couldn't even get it done.
All right, Jordy LaForge says cd into source and rerun npm run build. Maybe relative pathing issue. Could be. npm run build. Nope. Same issue. So what is different when? Because when we mounted the file system directly in, it worked fine, but copying it didn't work fine. Because if we leave this and then we Docker run with the volume, wherever that was. And then we cd into app. And we do npm I and npm run start. Or npm run build, excuse me.
Yeah, or build.
This worked fine. So what if we rm-rf node modules, and then we do the same thing with the volume? Because maybe it's like a, I don't know, maybe it's something. npm I. npm run build. Let's see what we get here. So that worked fine that way. And then what if we do it with, what if we build it off of kind of a pre-built one? When you do the volume in there, it changes the files on the source machine as well as on the, because the volume maps the files one-to-one. So I'm going to see if it will work in this test container as well here. npm I, npm run build. Still stopped. What is it about copying those files in that makes them all break? Huh. npm build. Jordy LaForge says different node versions. Let's see. It's the same node version because in this Docker file that we're running, it's in node 21 alpine 3.18. And then in the Docker run that we're doing, it's on node 21 alpine 3.18. This is very strange. So this one's saying make sure everything is, the dependencies are up to date. Could that be it? npm audit fix. Added 3 packages and audited, found 0 vulnerabilities. So that's probably not going to be it. We'll just do this anyway. Docker build dot minus, no, Docker run IT test. Huh. This is very strange.
You think it's possible it's like a bug with Docker or something?
I don't know. It's very rare that we would find a bug with Docker doing something as simple as building an image. It's also very rare that we would find a bug with Node doing something as simple as build an image. I wouldn't expect this to come up. This is very interesting. Normally, 10 times out of 10, if you Docker run and get into it, you can solve the problem, and it'll be very apparent what's going on. Let's do an ls minus lah and see what the difference is between that and if I do ls minus lah here. .eslint, get ignore, docker file, readme, dist, index, node underscore modules, package lock, package JSON, post CSS, source, tailwind config, vitae. The only other difference is I guess they're all owned by root in this other one. Huh. Jordy the Forge says, have you considered giving up?
Okay.
Well, Aaron, have you?
I mean, I gave up. That's why I came to you.
Wrong. The answer is you don't have to be very smart. You just have to have an iron will and never give up. Remember, kids, never give up. Jordy says, I mean, try a different Docker base image. Yeah, this is like the 4th Docker base image we've been through. Let's try a different one. Node Docker image. Let's try a current dash Alpine 3.18. Oh, look at that. PHAWM Paukme just followed. What's going on, Paukme? Let's try a current dash Alpine. Docker build.c test. Paukme, but PH is F. Oh! Nah, I'm not going to pronounce it that way. I'm sorry. Paukme. Yeah, that one didn't work. What else we got? Jordy is saying, try a Debian-based one. It could be Alpine Missile Goofiness. But that is rare. I've heard tales of it, but current bullseye. Let's try that. Hawkman says, if you don't want to give it up, follow this Docker tutorial. Is this a basic Docker tutorial on how to do like normal Docker stuff? Because this should have been working hours and hours ago, because I've Dockerized a fair amount of things and I've never run into an issue like this. So, no, it's for your specific problem. All right. Coming in strong. Okay. He's just sent me Rick Astley, never going to give you up. You're lucky I only have 4 viewers right now, because you would be banned if I had more people. Remember, kids, you can keep bullying me until I get big and powerful, and then that's when I'm going to come down with the hammer. But as long as your bullying keeps driving what little engagement I have, I'm not going to be happy about it, but I will suffer it. Why is this so broken? Lamau. Yeah, you laugh it up. Every single comment is driving engagement in their algorithm. Soon I'll be big and powerful, and then I won't stand for this anymore. One day I might even have a mod who does this for me, so it's not even on my conscience. This guy rickrolled me. Luckily it happened off. Luckily I didn't open it up on my stream window, but he still got me. Could not resolve /pages/find group from source/app.jsx. Could not resolve find group page. Well, I guess we can start Googling errors again. Roll up error could not resolve. Information looks exactly the same. Problem lies in package versioning, the package, whatever. Not generating nor storing the declaration files in the types folder expected to be at the path. Latest version is whatever. Hopefully it's fixed. Make sure your tsconfig.json file. Let's open that up. Does that exist? It doesn't. Manually update the package.json file. Why not? This isn't using rollup, is it? Dependencies, Axios, just cookies, React DOM. Auto prefixer, ESLint. npm. Let's build it locally again. Make sure. What if we just run npx vite build? What if we do that? What are the odds? Don't ever tell me. Oh, it didn't work. All right, so that's equally mad. This one says delete package lock.json. Let's try that. Let's see if that does anything. Jordy the Forge, try hard coding that path it's bitching about. I imagine if you strace it, you'll see it trying to fopen an invalid path. That is a good call. I was hoping that removing package lock would fix it, though. Let's see. /pages/find group page from source app.jsx. Hold on a second. Find group is capitalized. On Mac OS, the file system is case sensitive, but searches are case insensitive, which means that when I've mounted the volumes in there, it will do a case insensitive search all the way through it. But when you copy the volumes in there, since macOS stores the case but doesn't do it on searches, when you store it in the Docker image, Linux searches are case sensitive because their file system is completely case sensitive. You understand where I'm going with this?
No.
What this means, if I go into pages and then I move find_group to find_group, you following?
Okay, so
Jordy says he'll send us an invoice. I'm sorry, Jordy, I didn't hard code any path. I just looked at the path. Now, the fact that you said the word path doesn't mean anything, Jordy. You don't get to charge me for that. I solved it. You get no credit. And we've done it. It works.
Okay, so I just need to change the name of the.
I've just changed it. We are good.
Or you changed it in the
We are
okay.
good, my
Oh,
boy.
you have it.
So this is the sort of nonsense you. This is why I say it's so important to read Hacker News and Lobsters. This was a
Why?
tidbit of information I learned 1,000 years ago, randomly reading one article one day while I was chilling out at work.
Okay,
And
I
it's something
see.
about how Windows paths are case insensitive. Macintosh paths are not case insensitive, except for the fact that they act like they're case insensitive when they're not. Linux paths are case sensitive. So if you have a Macintosh or Windows path that doesn't work in Linux, then it might be
Lowercase
case
it.
sensitivity. And that's what happened to
Okay.
be. And you just learn all these random little tidbits of nonsense information that goes into your brain and sometimes falls out and sometimes doesn't. And occasionally, it is very useful. Because I do not know how long I would have sat here if I didn't think of that. I probably would have tried hard coding the path like Jordy said, and that probably would have actually fixed it as well. So now we can open up this Docker file. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And then we can Docker build minus dot minus t test. And that should run perfectly, fix everything, solve our problems, cure world hunger, and I don't know, what
Yeah,
other
yeah. I think
things.
you. Yeah. This was just about that scale. It's up there. I think. Maybe right above world hunger.
Right above? I think it's higher. I think it's way higher than that.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, let's check out git status. And we've changed Docker file and packagelock.json. Why didn't it change that? Oh, I know why I didn't change it.
Why?
Ah, it doesn't recognize that I've done anything with find group because this is a Mac system.
Okay. That's weird.
Ah, it's not recognizing that I've made that change. That's problematic. Paukma says, "What are y'all building?" We are building the
A
tool
Docker
hub.
file.
We're building a Docker file for the tool hub, which is the second most powerful hub right behind GitHub. And there are no other hubs that I know of,
Yeah.
which is an
Yep.
app
Just
that,
just those two.
yep, that's it. So that's an app that that Aaron wrote to help share tools, between neighbors, friends, enemies, family members. It's like an online, not
There's a steal
marketplace.
feature for enemies.
Yeah,
You can steal their tools instead of
yeah,
lending.
yeah. You just don't want to go around loaning your enemies like firearms. That'd be a bad idea. Got to be careful which tools you're sharing. Anyway, let's git add minus a, git commit minus m, dockerize exclamation mark. Oh, and we'll get
You have to also you have
origin.
to push out the Linux file system feature
Oh, well, it's not that
in
the
the commit
Linux is.
message.
It's between. You're probably running on what, Windows?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's something between Windows, Mac, and Linux trying to work together. That's the problem. We can't all just hold hands and sit in a circle and sing "Kumbaya." The universe wouldn't want that to happen. But anyway, tool hub. So we have a pull request. You're welcome. Great pull request. Then I will request Aaron to to allow to review it and merge it. Do you have any further requests?
Let's see. Merge pull request. Confirm merge.
Fantastic.
Pull request successful.
Igneous, aka Jordy, coming in. Stolen Valor.
Wow.
I'm gonna hit him with the thumbs down. He suggested an error different than the one I solved. I don't know what to say. Yeah, sure, it was the same root cause.
Yeah, he can't get credit for that.
He can't get credit for that. He didn't do the work. He didn't put in the work. He didn't come on this stream. Actually, I shouldn't be saying that. He has access to just jump in the Discord call and yell at us. He might do it. You know what, Jordy, come on in here. We're hopping into your territory here. We're about to do some Docker compose. Jordan's not gonna come in here. He might. Be on the lookout. We're about to do some whatnot, so on, so forth. All right, Diesel here says F star U star C star K space Y star O space U star U space N star A star T star E. Well, Diesel, I got to be honest, I don't know what that's saying. You've got some coded message in there. I don't understand what that is. Diesel, you're going to have to write that in some non-coded way.
He's speaking English or something.
Yeah, he might be speaking like English. I speak American.
Diesel language.
Yeah, Diesel language. Is there a Diesel programming language? I feel like Diesel is a good name for a programming language. Dumb interpretively evaluated string expression language. Diesel.
There you go.
Hey, Diesel. Decoding Diesel.
Oh, so this might decode if you run it, feed it this string.
Oh, that's a good
idea.
idea.
The Diesel programming language could interpret it.
Let me download diesel.tar.gz and open this bad boy. Okay, so we got Diesel. Diesel. All right, so it's a bat file. I don't know how to run those. But we have diesel.c. Let's see what's in here. Oh, it wants me to open this in Xcode. I don't know why I can't just open up diesel.c in Vim. So slight digression here. Download / diesel. Oh, fatal error reported. Linux kernel v6.6.12 crash on virtualization.framework. All right. I guess we'll reset Docker to factory. Reset. Okay. I guess that's fine. I don't know why Docker freaked out. Luckily, we don't need it. So we'll go to diesel / diesel.c. Okay. So we got diesel.c. So that's good. Let's do make. Okay, a lot of warnings. All right, / diesel. So it appears that we're running the diesel something. I don't know how I'm supposed to run this. Diesel copies its input directly to the output until a macro character or quoted string is encountered. So if I just say like, hello. Okay. So I'll say $, if one true false equals quote 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 $, if comma 1 comma true comma false 1 2 3 4. Huh. So diesel, we got the diesel programming language here. Feel free to use it. I'll just send this to you in a DM, I guess. Aaron.
Yes.
I don't know what that digression was. I honestly was expecting that to be more entertaining, but I mean, it really wasn't.
Thank you very, very much. That was like, it was my top Make-A-Wish above. It was above solving world hunger and solving the Middle East peace. So you got number one. I got 2 more things for you to do.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, solving Middle East peace, real easy compared to Entertaining Aaron.
To this.
And you can quote me on that. Very simple situation they got going on over there. All right. GitHub.com.
Now it should work. And
Tool Hub. So now
okay.
we'll git pull. We have our new updates, which is very fantastic. And then
run the back end and front end.
Yeah, we can run the back end and front end. So what we can do is make a Docker compose. Actually, no, I was going to do a GitHub Actions. You familiar with GitHub Actions?
I mean, I haven't used it.
GitHub Actions is a CI/CD framework. Not really a CI/CD framework, but it's a CI tool put out by GitHub that allows you to do things like build a Docker image. And then what you can do is you push these Docker images to the GitHub image repository. So I will show you on my repository at github.com/npmail/focusbot. I have, where is it? In packages, I have the FocusBot package. So if let me log into my FocusBot machine, root at focus, nope. If I log into a machine that runs FocusBot, you will see that the entire thing, the only thing on the machine is a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter, and I have this Docker compose YAML. And this Docker compose YAML and a couple of config files are the only thing you need to run it. You don't have to have the access to the source code at all. You just ask Docker compose to run ghcr.io/npmail/focusbot/focusbot.latest after mounting this volume, adding these environment variables, and then it exposes these ports. Then it restarts always in case it fails, right?
Okay.
So what we can do is basically the same thing, where instead of having this, we'll have a front end and a back end. But you need to be able to publish your images to ghcr.io. So we will set that up right after these messages. No, that's not true. I don't have any sponsors. So to make a GitHub action, you make a file called .github/workflows, make dir -p .github/workflows, and we'll cd to github/workflows, and then we'll make a docker image.yaml seems fine. Docker-image.yaml. Oops. And again, slow me down if any of this is too much for you.
So far, you just created a new file.
Yep.
Okay. Name, build, and upload Docker image.
Yep.
So that's the name of the whole workflow.
Yes. So this is a couple of rules on how it works.
Okay. So when you push the main, it should trigger it.
Yep. So then we'll have jobs. So the first job will be build. And normally people with their jobs, you would have triggers for different branches for if pull requests are opened. I'll leave you to figure that out on your own because this is a strictly CI/CD stream. But you can make one of these for if somebody pushes into a dev branch that makes a provisional, that makes a what's it called, a release candidate. You can make it so that if somebody opens a pull request, it runs a test suite. You can do all sorts of stuff. You can make sure, you can just minimally make sure it compiles. That's very useful.
Yep. That's useful for something.
Yeah.
Having it compile.
You'll be surprised what people try to pass off as useful code when it's not useful at all. So our first step, what we'll do is so each one of these dashes denotes another grouping of things. So the first one is an unnamed step that uses action/checkout at v3. Action/checkout at v3, which is pretty good.
Well, what does that do?
This will, within GitHub Actions, check out whatever branch that you're working on.
Oh,
or not
okay.
whatever the branch you're working on, but the branch that it's being triggered on. So that's
Yeah.
super useful. And then this one builds a Docker image. But we're gonna look at we're gonna steal off of my work instead of that other work because you know, well, you know. So we have actions
Yeah,
at
why give
checkout.
someone else credit when you can give yourself?
Exactly. So we're going to use version 4.11, 1.1, because that's the one that's newer. We'll do another step. This, what did this do? I can't remember. But this one will, oh, you know what? I won't be able to steal this work off myself. This is a darn shame. What this one does is it assumes you have one Docker file in the root, and then it uses that. However, we have more Docker files, and
We
we
have
need
two.
more configuration on it. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just check out this till bleshmit / gup docker action. We're just going to go to its documentation and see if we can make it do a couple of different things. Build and publish Docker image with a head tag for the develop branch. Build and publish Docker image with a latest tag for the master branch. That's probably the one we want. Build and publish, GitHub token, image name. Interesting. Let's see what this action does. Image name, image tag, extract git tag. We don't need that. Docker file path. This is what we need. So what we can do is we can still use all the same stuff, but we'll add in a couple of extra things. So we'll just paste this here. Oh, I screwed that up. So GitHub token, we'll have to do some configuration to get the GitHub token working. That's going to be a little bit annoying. So this image name will be called tool hub frontend, and it'll be tagged as latest. And then the other option we needed was one called dockerfile-path. And then it is
/front end.
Yep. /front end. I bet if we just do front end, it'll work fine. And then we need to copy this and do the tool hub backend. Makes enough sense. And I screwed that up. There we go. Tool hub backend. And what was the path for backend?
App.
And then we'll have the most fun thing, which is pushing this straight to main and seeing what happens. So there is one setting that we're going to have to change, and it's not going to work right now until we change that setting. But we'll do a real quick gh run watch. Oh. If we go into actions, we're in the wrong one. Here we are. If we go into actions, discard my changes, of course. It doesn't. Is it not going to let me? Is this?
Whatever.
Huh.
Do I need to give you figure out how to do the admin thing, or?
I didn't push.
Oh, okay. There.
I'm a little dumb. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it's mad at me. Let's see why it's mad at me. Jobs is not an invalid event name. Oh, well, I screwed that up. So I screwed something up here. So clearly this is mad at me. So let's go back into the focus spot one. So name is fine, on is fine, jobs should be fine, except jobs should be in line back here. That's more like it. Now it's saying I'm missing stuff, but who cares? And this is something that always happens when you're working on GitHub Actions, is you have a nice clean commit history, and then all of your commit history is screwed up for a little while, and then you have a nice clean commit history again. There we go. So it didn't get mad at us immediately.
That's a good sign.
So it's attempting to build some stuff and do some stuff, and it's checking it out, and it's doing some other stuff. It's running npm I. We may have to fix this in the web UI if we get the same error as before. Yeah, we gotta fix it in the web UI. Got the same error as before, because the web UI is going to be on a Linux machine. That's the real reason for doing that. So front end, source, pages, find underscore group. We will. How do I? Is there a way to edit?
Edit that.
You know what?
I don't know.
Are you familiar with the GitHub web version of VS Code?
GitHub, the web version of VS Code? Or what is that?
You hit the period key while you're anywhere,
that.
and it opens up VS Code in your browser. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's a good VS Code, or that VS Code could be good.
Okay, that's cool.
But it is kind of neat and kind of useful if you just need to real quick make an edit that you can't do via the web UI. So we'll just find this fine group.
That's good to know.
Rename to...
Probably never by mistake done this. Just one key.
There we go. We'll commit and push. Fix path thing. Great. Commit and push. And then I forget how to leave this, actually. Do I just click GitHub? No. I don't know how to get out of this.
Back arrow?
Yeah, but like there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way.
Try period again.
Yeah. No, we'll just... period again didn't work either. But anyway, we'll go back into actions. Try fix path thing again. I think it nearly worked. The only problem is couldn't push the package. Couldn't push the package, and that is because the GitHub token being used doesn't have the ability to do so. So I will show you, and you're going to have to do
what does it need to verify?
What?
Okay, what do I need to do? Go to actions.
I believe it's in
general.
Secrets and variables, actions. No, it's not that. It's not that. I swear, there's a thing in here.
What's it trying to verify?
It's mad because you don't have. Where is it? Is it a general setting? Workflow permissions. You need to give it read and write permissions. So under settings, actions, general,
yep.
Workflow permissions, read and write permissions.
Actions,
save.
general, okay. read all the way down. Read repository contents. I need to switch it to read and write for
Yep.
workflow.
Yep.
Save. Anything else?
Nope. That'll
Or
be it.
all right.
And then we'll go back into this
Should be.
action. We will. I don't know why this workflow hasn't canceled itself. It already died, didn't it? Yeah. So we'll go back into actions and we will run it again. Build and upload Docker images. Let's see. Let's just view workflow file. Where's the rerun button? I swear there's a run workflow button. New workflow? No, that just creates a new workflow. I swear. All workflows? There's got to be some way to rerun this bad boy. You know what? We'll just
Nothing made. Add a space. There you go. I see what you did there.
Oh, add great website. Git push origin main. Oh! Git pull. Great. Git push origin main. All right, Diesel says, fuck you, Nate. All right, don't know why I had to say it like that.
I don't think that's English.
Diesel, that didn't really sound like English to me. So, again, I'm going to need a translation.
Yep, and that language, Diesel language, didn't help translating this.
Yeah,
either.
Diesel, did you download the Diesel language? We mentioned it last time when you left last time. I assume you've been coding away in the Diesel language. Jordan LaForge says, thumbs down. Sublime Ibanez says, ew, it's the mustache of grooming. All right, Diesel says, been fighting my raid card. What's wrong with your raid card? Also, why not just do Better FS raid? It's basically the same thing. It's just slower and worse, but like Better FS. Top tier stuff. Love it. Big fan. Oh. Whoa, got to subscribe from Sublime Ibanez. 2 months. Thanks. Sublime Ibanez says, because you touch yourself at night. All right. Strange that you would know if I do or don't. So we are uploading stuff. Well, this is fantastic. I don't know what's running in there. Okay. We got some stuff going on. It's building. I have no idea what's happening, but it looks like it's working. It's not mad at me. What's your thoughts right now, Aaron? Are you excited? Did you ever think you'd make it this far?
I am very excited. I wasn't sure.
Well, you know what?
I almost lost my faith in you.
You know what? I don't know why you would lose your faith in me. You should lose your faith in computers. Here's the thing. If I can't do it, it's not possible. Remember Jordy? Remember Jordy, the hater out there? He was talking about how we should just quit, how it was all over, how programming was dead, but no.
Although he did give us some inspiration with the YouTube video.
He gave that was somebody else. That was Palkme.
Oh, that was
who
him.
Gave the inspiration. Yeah, what you don't know, Palkme, is I actually started listening to that song and I thought, no, I'm never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you down, in reference to the code base. I'm never gonna turn around and desert you. I'm never gonna say goodbye. I'm never gonna let you cry. And then I came back and I, let's just say I gave that code base the love it deserved. So after all that, look at what we have.
Yeah, I'm very impressed.
We've got packages. We got the front end and the back end, which means all you have to do is Docker pull that, and then you have the image.
Okay.
So let's give it a little test. Let's do a real quick Docker run it ghcr.io/aaron-lomner/tool_hub-frontend:_latest. Jordy LaForge says, "Hey Nate, can you register yourself on Tool Hub? Oh, so you can check me out? Absolutely not, Jordy. You hear this? Jordy wants me on Tool Hub so he can check me out.
Wow.
Ah,
I think he's a fan.
yeah. Let's just continue without signing in. Skip the survey. All right, let's try this bad boy. All right, so it looks like we're pulling Tool Hub. How excited is this? You know, anyone can go out there and just pull Tool Hub, use it. It's great.
So that's good to know. The GitHub workflow CI stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it really simplifies it.
Thinking about hitting that yoinky sploinky right now.
I'm gonna need to update that. Get the env working. Like I don't know how to use that env variables and stuff in the projects.
Now we probably don't want to do that the preview thing. There's better ways to do this, but you know, all you gotta do is edit that Docker file and push that bad boy.
Yep. And it's automatically when I push the main, update it.
Yep. It'll push it on the on Tool Hub front end latest, which will just be fantastic. I tell you what.
It definitely is.
And Docker desktop is doing some stuff. All right. So what were you on about with the env thing? Explain to me what you want to do with env.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I just want you give me the structure. I'll work it out later. Just literally create an env file with some key called hello world, the value hello world, and create like a function that prints it out. And I could figure the rest later. I just in the front end. So you can have it run like in I guess the first component, welcome page component, you could just have it run that function. You could maybe create it into utils, create a function that prints out the print env variable and just allows it.
So don't take offense at this. Do you know how env variables work?
No, I mean it's sort of tells whatever's running it, let's say the Docker machine or any machine, to set like the variables for the machine. So like kind of like all the path stuff that you use, path variables to shorten it. Same thing, just for other stuff. Although I'm not very familiar with all the details.
Do not worry. I will give you a rundown of how env files work. So basically, I can't run the env command. If I run the env command, it'll reveal a bunch of compromising information. But basically, what happens is when an application is run, it is given access to a couple of things. It's given a file handler that represents standard in. That's file handler 0, I think. Maybe it's one. One of there's 3 of them. There's a file handler that represents standard in, file handler that represents standard out, a file handler that represents standard error. So it's just a pointer that that your program can grab onto, start sending information to, or receive information from those, right? And that's any Unix program. It also receives an array of variables. You're familiar with public static void, main, args, int. You remember that incantation? So of course, public meaning accessible from something outside of the package. Sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah, so public meaning,
and that's the arguments you get passed into the program.
Yeah, so let's get into it, right? So public static void means accessible from outside of the package that you're writing it in. That way the Java
and you don't need
container can do that, right? Static meaning it's it's not
doesn't need to be instantiated.
Yep. Void meaning it returns nothing, I think. I don't know. Public static void main meaning it's the main entry point, whatever. And then the args is an array of strings, which basically is just a which is just it's just a pointer, another pointer that's handed to your program when it starts up. And then, in addition to all those things, there's also environment variables, which are set and then inherited when one program calls another program, right?
Okay.
Because what it does is generally when one program calls another program, it forks it and then executes the new program. And when it forks, it copies the environment variables over. But the way you think of it is just one program being a parent of another, and it gets that same environment.
Right.
So then the idea is you can put things that are unique to that runtime environment into environment variables and use them. And then JavaScript devs in their infinite wisdom said, well, instead of having to make people set all their environment variables, all we got to do is make a file that has all the environment variables in it called .env. And then they complicated things and made it annoying just to save people from having to run a shell script called, source.env.
The shell script would set the variables when you run the program.
Yeah, so basically the source command inside of your shell just runs all of those commands and then gives you the same shell with those commands having been run. And the commands inside of the env file are all just shell directives for setting environment variables. It's not exactly like that, but it may as well be.
Okay.
And then those environment variables are copied into any process spawned by that shell. So then the .env just is a file version of doing the same thing, just a little bit less direct and confuses people.
Yep.
So, what are you trying to set with the environment variables?
Just create a variable and create a function to access it, just so demonstrate how it works. And I'll what I need is right now that's using a third-party API for image storage. So the backend that's actually running just stores image URLs. So when someone uploads an image, it sends it to some third-party API that will convert it to a URL, and you can use that URL for the image. Right now, I'm using some burner account for that API key with a public key that anyone can access. What I want to do is create the env file to set that API key, and I want to use that API key instead. This way, I would give the same default API key, but if it gets too many requests or for whatever reason is discontinued, someone can just create a new API key and replace it.
Okay.
So where I actually use the API key, where I actually used it is a couple different places, a little bit disorganized because the short time frame when I'm building the application, it's not the best structure. It might take me some time, but the simple thing would just be to create a utility function. I can do the rest later. So in the utils, you create a function called just return API key or console.log API key, and if you look in the front end, there should be utils with utility function. Yep. So you just add an export get key. You could have a console.log and return it just to see if it works. Either or.
So this is going to be interesting because this stuff all runs on the front end, right?
Yes. I only need access to it the front end. Front end's the back end doesn't know anything about it. So it has the same interface regardless. So the back end just gets an image URL sent to it to say the front end processes it using the third-party API. It sends the third-party API the image, gets back the image URL, and then sends the image URL to the backend. So the backend doesn't need it at all.
That's an interesting way to do things because you generally wouldn't want to send an API key like that to the front end because anyone running the front end can then steal that API key, or anyone connected to their front end can steal that API key and use it for whatever nefarious purposes, right?
But yeah, but I'm saying it doesn't matter. Like I made the key public, and it's like a burner account. Like all you're gonna do is ban the key if you use it too much.
Yeah, but then if that key gets banned, then it degrades the experience for everyone trying to use your app.
No, yeah, that's the whole idea. So right now, the whole idea is so people can create an account, create
So
an
think of it this
API
way.
key
Think of it
with
this way.
that,
You run
replace
this,
it in
and
the env
people
file.
think of it this way. You run this on a server of yours,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
you're running it in your neighborhood. Everything's fine and dandy. And then I move into your neighborhood. I see this key, and then I do 100,000 requests a second. Get that account banned. Then your neighbor Tim wants to borrow a hammer from your neighbor John, and can't do it because that key has been banned. What are you gonna do then? Make a
No,
new one?
so he should no. He's running. Well, what he's doing in this case, he's running the. What he's doing is running the his own local instance of the app.
No, no, no. But isn't it an app that's meant to be shared between people in the neighborhood? I mean, only one person in the neighborhood has to run it, right?
Yes, no, but I'm saying what he's going to do in the Docker file, the instructions for running it, right? So in the Docker file, you're going to replace the default key. You can try it, like instructions is try the key. If the key doesn't work, you have to create a key and then replace it with your created key.
Okay, but let's say it's your neighborhood's instance. You've created a new key, you run it in your neighborhood. I move into your neighborhood. You give me access to Tool Hub, so I can borrow, rakes and hammers and nails from people. And I take that key because it's presented to me in the front end, and I do 100,000 requests with it real quick, and then that account gets banned. Then whoever sets that instance up has to go make a new key and redeploy it, right?
Oh, okay. So when someone's deploying their instance, like it's a different database. Like this whole thing is using an in-memory database. Like it's not meant to be. It's just meant to be demonstrative for purposes. Not meant to be really used.
Okay. If it's not meant to really be used, then I wouldn't worry about that environment variable stuff at all, honestly.
So it doesn't need to be even. It, no, it's just so it makes it easier for them to. So for example, right, you're running your instance, right? Right now, someone runs it. Enough people run it, and they fill the API key. You can. It's going to be way too complicated to fix. There's going to be too many places to fix it. Versus if I right now set the API key in the file, you can just create a new key and replace it if it
Okay.
doesn't work with the default key. Does that
So,
make sense?
someone out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe an environment variable for this stuff will only apply at build time. I think when you're using Vite as the build tool, it generates a static site. I'm not sure on that. So I don't think you can. Hold on. Not exactly sure how this works. All right. V uses .env, so that's not too bad. So we want I didn't explain what's going on, right? So what's the command you
Yeah.
use to serve your site?
Run dev or preview.
npm run preview. npm I.
You might need to build it first.
Yep. npm run build. npm run preview. Then you go here, and it shows it, right?
Yeah.
So what's happened is in this dist file, this holds, as far as I understand, hold on, Python 3 minus m http dot server. I wonder. Yeah, so this is what I was thinking. So basically, when you run vite build, it builds a static site for. It
In
builds
like the
the front end out as a static site.
distributed direct.
So you can distribute just that directory and then serve that, and you have your entire application there. But what that means is that anytime after you run vite build, you really can't change what gets sent over to the client. So any API keys or whatever that are already in there are already going to be on the client, and you can't really update them at runtime. You follow?
Yes.
So the environment variable thing.
So I guess okay, it's not necessary. Not gonna help out.
It's not going to work. It's not going to do anything for you. So I was trying to get at.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Now there are ways to make it work, or if you run it through a node server and have the node server put that in there from the environment variable as it's serving it, that will work. But I don't know Node that well. I know how to do it using like Next.js, and I'm on the razor's edge of knowing how to do it. My knowledge is just barely there. But what we can do right now, because I don't want to have to try to stumble around trying to help re-architect this, because I'm not the right guy to help with that. But what we can do right now is get it running in a Docker Compose environment and get you a Docker Compose file that will pretty much get everything working. How does that sound?
Okay. Yep. That sounds awesome.
Fantastic. So, how do you normally go about serving your front end versus your back end? So, your user connects to the front end, and then their browser makes a request to the back end. Where does that request go? Is it a different URL? Is it the same URL on a different port? How does that work? You still there? Did you go away? Did I go away? Hello? Did something crash? Let's see. It appears that I'm still streaming, so that's good. I don't know what happened. Can't hear him. Can he hear me? Something broke somewhere. Well, let's check the mobile client, see if that works. Open up Discord. Aaron, can you hear me? Well, if it doesn't work on the mobile client, then I think I can safely assume the issue is on his end and not on mine. Joy to the Forge says awkward_silence.ogg. Sims Toucan, I can hear you. My mic not working. Give me a second. All right. Also, I wonder what this awkward_silence.ogg is. Is that a real? Oh no, it just Tries to load up awkward silence.ogg. Also, OGG. What file format is that? That's Opus, right? OGG. Free open container format. Oh, so it's not Opus. Oh, no. It's successor Opus. I see. Opus lossless audio compression formats include FLAC and OGG PCM. Before 2007, the OGG file name extension was used for all files whose content used the OGG container format. Since 2007, the ZIF.org Foundation recommends that OGG only be used for OGG Vorbis audio files. The ZIF.org Foundation decided to create a new set of file extensions and media types to describe different types of content, such as OGA for audio-only files, OGV for video or with or without sound, including Theora, and OGS for multiplexed OGG. Wow. This name is Toucan. I restarted Discord. I'm in the stream waiting list. Aaron, my friend, how are you doing?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Who am I kidding? Just gentlemen. We are back.
Yes, I don't know. Something was wrong with my mic on my end.
Well, this is the perils of running a live show.
Yep. I think it was Discord. I had to restart Discord, and then it worked.
Yeah. Another 3 minutes, and I would have just ended the stream early. Anyway. So what happens when I log onto the front end, connect to the front end, I get served that page. A backend request happens. Where does that backend request go? Another port? The same port?
Wait, the backend request goes to port 8080. Where the backend
front end reports are on the front end requests are on port.
The front end doesn't get receive requests.
The front end absolutely receives requests.
It's not like meaning. I mean, it's only when it sends it receives responses, right? Well, it doesn't have like
it's not exactly how that works. So when the front end is served from somewhere, and there's a web server somewhere that serves index.html.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Yeah, so yes. I think the default is like 5173, the port that it serves like the front end on the server.
Okay, so that's in dev mode. You will probably want to, at some point, set it up so that, let's see.
The thing is, I have to also update the cores. The cores for the backend only allows 5173, so I would have to update the backend core settings for configuration as well.
The way I would go about doing this is I would have your backend serve your front end. That way, you only have to go to one place to get all of the files for your website, front end and back end. You know, all the files from the front end and all of the data from the back end. So the way I've done this in the past is you have the npm project inside of the same repository as your backend project, and then you set it so that if somebody requests your server / index.html, it will serve them this page, and if somebody requests / anything that's not already registered, it'll pull the stuff from your it'll grab all of your front end files, and then you have it so that if somebody on the front end requests /API, it'll serve an API endpoint, right? That way you don't have to deal with cores or anything. You're only connecting to one host on one port. Now, there's other ways of doing this.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
And would this be... So I would use... Basically, the build files that are created are going to be the... It's just going to be like a HTML file. That's the HTML file that it actually served from the backend?
Yes, I think. So there's other ways of doing this that are slightly less work, but a little bit more learning. And other ways are better and worse. There's all sorts of ways of doing this. I'll enumerate some of them on this Krita page, and I'll give you a few things to think about, and then we'll probably end the stream. Man, I have
Yep.
lost a bunch of weight since I took this photo. I look fat in this. Anyway, you're still watching my. I'm not streaming anymore. Let me stream it so you can react in real time. There we go. Custom
Oh,
document.
okay.
Great. So there's a few ways of doing this, right? So let me bring this the pin size down a little bit. That'll work. So what you can do is you can have your server here, one server,
Yeah.
and then a request comes in, and then it's routed either one of two places. It can be routed to /API, and this is a little too big still. Let's move this down to
Correct.
like 3 pixels. And then what that'll
And that's
do,
going to trigger all the backend code
yep,
controller stuff.
back end. And then anything else, it will just serve files.
And these
And
files are the stuff
conveniently, these
generated by
files,
the node build.
exactly. These files are the stuff that was built by npm build.
Run build.
And then that goes in here. Yeah. Run. I'm just bad at drawing with the mouse. So then, this user only has to connect to one site, https/whatever, and then just looks at different file paths. This is how I like to do it on small things, and this is how I would.
Okay.
employ
And should it be
that.
pre-built? Like I shouldn't have Docker build it. I should have it pre-built, and
So
then have one Docker file for the backend.
yeah, so what your Docker build should do is it should build it should run npm build, and then it will take that /dist, and then it will put it into your container. Let's call this container. It will put that
Okay.
dist into your container, and then you tell Spring, you say, hey Spring, if somebody asks for anything that's not /API, just serve them a file out of dist if the file matches the path they're looking for. And then if it comes
Okay, I
into
see.
/API, run that API function. I don't know how to do that in Spring. I've never used Spring, but they have it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's pretty. I would just have to copy it into like the template resources.
So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is you have a server in front called something like an Nginx.
Okay.
And then what Nginx does, it takes everything, and then you can configure it so that anything that comes into, let's see, /API is routed to port, what was it, 8080? 8080,
Yeah.
and then anything that comes in anywhere else is routed to port, what was the port that your service runs on? Or that the front end runs on?
5173.
5173. I'm really bad at typing with writing with the mouse. And then 5173, then those ones go directly into your npm server, and then the 8080 ones go directly into your Spring server.
I see. So and then Nginx is abstracting that away to the user as one server.
Nginx, everything will come in onto Nginx on port probably 443, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So then Nginx takes care of this. So then on these two, you need to expose these ports to the local machine, and then you have to have Nginx connect to these ports. And you can do this all in Docker Compose, or you can do this on a bare machine. Or the last option, which is super overkill. Well, this is how you do it if you were like working for a company, is you'd have a load balancer that, spoiler alert, is also Nginx. And then what it does is accepts all the traffic on 443. And then it splits it off to /API and /. And then Based on how many requests are coming in, it could send it out to any number of API container or of well, this is front end server containers,
Oh, and they're just copies of each other,
and
just to
then
distribute the
on
load.
API it can put it out to any number of Spring containers.
I see.
And this is how you do it at a corporation, right?
Right. This is to handle all the traffic.
And then the final boss here is you have something like a distributed like load balancer system where a request will come in on 443 and you
Yep.
have a CDN that serves a cache version of slash whatever your static assets are, and it serves those
Okay.
back immediately. And then if it's a slash API, it might serve it back immediately depending on your caching policy, and then it might send it to a local instance of your Spring server.
Yeah.
If
And this is probably
if
the
you're
way
running
I
this
should go because
distributed,
I'm having a lot of traffic over here.
yeah, this is exactly what you do. Or it could send it to a Spring server in some other data center somewhere. But this is mega super duper overkill. I would go with this middle option, and we
The
can
the middle.
orchestrate
Okay.
Nginx to run in your Docker Compose, and then spin up a Spring and your npm server.
All right. That's probably the best way to go about it
Yes.
versus the top one.
So yeah, I'm gonna give you some homework.
Yeah. This is my homework to get the Docker working with the middle versions.
The homework isn't actually to get this working. I can help you get this working at some
Oh,
point,
okay.
but your homework is to figure out how to make your let's see. You know what? Never mind. Just think about what I've talked to you about here, and just look into how these different ways work. So,
Yeah, but we'll do.
yeah. So look at load balancing. Look at path-based routing with Nginx. Look at Nginx load balancing on Kubernetes. Look at distributed load balancing stuff. What would you search term going to be edge server, and then look at static files routing within Spring. And I think actually your best option is going to be the static file routing because it'll be a little bit simpler to deploy with a little bit less work. It'll be one container instead of three, and the best learning tool will be the middle option. There's nothing stopping you from trying it out both ways and seeing which one works. But this one
Right.
will allow you to input will allow you to have your backend give up the API key you want, and your backend is going to be working. It's going to be able to work well with environment variables. Front end, not so much.
Okay. Okay. I see. I appreciate all this. I really do.
Yeah,
You really help me out over here.
yeah, no problem. That's what it's here for, or what I'm here for. Whatever. Always trying to help. Let's not save that. Do you have any final things to say before I kill the
Final
stream?
things. Thank you and follow, like, subscribe.
Ho ho ho! Steal my thunder.
uh,
Well, don't take it from
I
me.
can play a
Take
video
it from
from you.
Aaron.
Previously linked in the stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, don't take it from me. Take it from Aaron. Follow, like, subscribe. Check out YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, other platforms. I have a Facebook page for this thing. I haven't posted anything on it, but it's got a picture of me on it. If you find the one with a picture of me, it might be mine. Otherwise, have a nice day. Keep on learning, so on, so forth, whatnot, this and that. And yeah, that's it. Enjoy
All
yourselves.
right. Have a great night. Thank you.